right. Hello, church. It's Pastor Don. And I am here today because I am going to be doing something a little different this year, which is some book reviews and some thoughts and devos, mini sermonettes. I don't know what else to call them, but there's been a lot of things you people have been asking for, and I'm excited about that because that shows growth. It shows the desire to grow. It shows that we as a church are changing and becoming more of the church that God wants us to be, because we are asking all these questions, and as we ask these questions, we know that we are going to have to change and ask the hard questions and not be afraid. Slight jump there. Um, anyway, so one thing I've been being asked over the last several months is about devotions. And I had a search. I don't know where it is. I'm like looking at my books. If you know anything about my office, it is like a professor's office. I have books, but I have messes around here that I'm working on cleaning up. But one of the things that I've been asked is about devotions, and I've done quite a few devotions over the years. Some good, some bad. Some that I had heard good stuff about, and then as I went and did them, I was not impressed. I think it's because of maturity level, like where we are in our walk with God. So, if I was going to give somebody who is a brand new Christian, and somebody who is not used to opening up their Bible every day and reading it, I have a devotion that I would suggest. Now, let me explain. Devotions are interesting. Now, what I would say is the most mature Christian is going to be able to open up their Bible, come across a verse, read the verse, and really ask the questions. We'll probably go through a couple of examples. I'll do a video on a couple of examples of personal Bible devotion, personal Bible reading, questions that you ask. The one thing about devotions is they ask the questions for you, or they really try to put it out there for you, and kind of give you like the questions that would be. So let me kind of explain this. So, like I said, there is a devotion book that I would use only if I was a new Christian. I've used it before, and I think you have to hear me out on this. It's Our Daily Bread. There are people that have a love-hate thing with it. I love it only if you are a new Christian, because it's very simple, breaks down things in a very simple, biteable way, but it's not deep. It's not giving you, it's not helping you go from formula to meat, as we would say in the Bible terminology. So I would look for devotions. In fact, hold on. I'm going to see. I just remembered something. All right. There we are. Another jump. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is there are like a lot of different types of devotionals to have. Like I said, some can be good, some can be bad. Some are classics, some are new. Some are, really, it really depends on what you're looking for what you're trying to do. So I had to grab around. I was looking. I have a copy of Spurgeon's Morning and Evening, probably one of the best devotionals out there, because as you can tell by its title, There is one for you to read in the morning when you get up before you go to work, and one for you to read in the evening before you go to bed. And it's great. It's a great devotional, but I know I have it. I think Natalie is using it. So what I decided to do is I rated her office, and I rated my office. I found a couple that I have here, but like now I haven't read this one, and I don't know who gave it to her, but this would be one. I'm like looking at it, and it's got the questions like a good devotional. The reason why I'm saying that I'm not a use our daily bread for life type of fan is it doesn't ask you questions. Now this one is one of Natalie's, and 52 devotions for dog lovers. So this would be something you would use maybe weekly, once a week. But one thing that it does do is it gives you questions to think about after you read what you are reading. And that's what I like about devotionals. If devotionals ask you questions, gets your mind thinking, it gets you processing what you're supposed to do. Now, this is kind of a niche thing, devotionals for lifestyle. Here's a married couples one, 366. So this one is a daily one that you would do. And, this one has it's simple, but it's one that's gonna make you work and question. Natalie has this one, Strength for Today by Dr. David Jeremiah. This one is more in line with the Our Daily Bread, but if you're trying, if you're sitting there and you're like, I can't get my hands on Our Daily Bread every 3 months. That would be one that would be good to go for. I have one somewhere, and I don't know where, but I have a men's devotional that I used for a while when I had begun doing men's ministry to kind of help my mind get into that focus of what I was trying to do, what I was trying to prepare for. You do have other types. This is the Bible Promise Book. And this one is sort of different. This is kind of thematic. And, if you're reading, it gives you verses just to kind of remember where you are. And this actually becomes a good help if you're a pastor and you're writing a sermon and you're like, I need a verse to go with this topic. So you would like that. The two that I'm currently using for this year, 2024, this is where these are good. I'm trying to think which one I want to go for first. Natalie is actually doing one of these too. Actually, she's doing both of these. So we're doing these both not together, but separately. So I guess the first I will grab is the Valley of Vision. This is not a prototypical devotional. One thing that has become really popular over the last 5-10 years is reading old saints, reading books by older Christians, or as one friend of mine calls them, dead mentors. And this one is different. This one is, especially, I'm in the New England area, so this is very prototypical. This is basically what we would say these are prayers and devotions, or as they say here, a collection of Puritan prayers and devotions. And they're really good. It makes you think. I will say that they do make you think, and you got to be aware of the old English words, what they meant. But let me read you one from. This was today's one, so let me read this real quick to you. It's called Divine Mercies, and it says, "Thou eternal God, thine is surpassing greatness, unspeakable goodness, superabundant grace. I can as soon count the sands of ocean's lip, as number thy favors towards me. I know but a part, but that part exceeds all praise. I thank thee for personal mercies, a measure of health, preservation of body, comforts of house and home, sufficiency of food and clothing, continuance of mental powers, my family, their mutual help and support, the delight of domestic harmony and peace, the seats now filled that might have been vacant, my country, my church, my Bible, my faith. But oh, how I mourn my sin, ingratitude, vileness, the days that aid to my guilt, the scenes that witness my offending tongue. All things in heaven, earth abound within, without, condemn me. The sun which sees my misdeeds, the darkness which is light to thee, the cruel accuser who justly charges me, the good angels who have been provoked to leave me, thy countenance which scans my secret sins, thy righteousness law, thy holy word, my sin soiled conscience, my private and public lives, my neighbors, myself, all write dark things against me. I deny them not. I frame no excuse, but confess, Father, I have sinned. Yet still I live, and fly repenting to thy outstretched arms. Thou wilt not cast me off, for Jesus brings me near. Thou wilt not condemn me, for he died in my stead. Thou wilt not mark my mountain of sin, for he leveled all, and his beauty covers my deformities. O my God, I bid farewell to sin by clinging to his cross, hidden in his wounds and sheltering in his side. So it makes you think, as you're reading this, it makes you think. It's not scripture, it's a prayer, but it makes you think really from the Puritan perspective. The other one that I have that I wanted to bring up is this The Checkbook of the Bank of Faith by Charles Spurgeon. It's a great little book. This one's a different one that I have. It reads, so instead of having like a paragraph like you would, it's got a couple of paragraphs and then spaces to write stuff. And that is really good because it gets you to think, do you have something to say? Do you have, how is it making you think? What are you thinking of as you write this? And so that is something that I would say, if you're looking for a good devotion, a good book that's going to make you work out your faith as we are told to do, then I would say, if you're just beginning, Our Daily Bread, again, this one's Strength for Today, something like that is going to begin you in a mode. It's going to take you a while. It's going to take you some time to kind of crank over. And I think if I remember my own walk, it took me like about a year or two before I really felt that I needed to get a little bit deeper when it came to devotions. So that's what we will do. We will talk about the SOAP method at some point, which is one of the many ways of doing personal study, personal devotion time, personal Bible reading. But that is it for today. That's what we're going to talk about for when it comes to devotions. And I hope this helps you. I know it's a lot to take in, but those are some of the suggestions I would say. Look for something good. Christian bookstores have them. I know Christian Book Distributors has a good selection. Just be careful what you get, because there are some that are not so good out there. So if you need to, message Natalie or myself and we can help you find the right one for you if you have questions. So with that, I'm going to say God bless, love you. This is part one of many this year, and hope this will help us grow as a church. God bless.